captured Jap field gun, one of many pieces of ordnance equipment which have been taken by our troops in the Pacific fighting. The powder charge is in small flakes. Ammunition is prepared for test firing of the weapon. While exact specifications of this model are not yet available, it's in many respects similar to the Jap 75mm field gun, Model 95. In this type of gun, the traversing and elevating hand wheels are located on the left side of the carriage. Jap weapons taken in good working condition or repaired by us are used against the enemy. A captured Japanese 20mm anti-tank rifle. The breech assembly is inserted in the gun, which is a single-purpose, gas-operated, magazine-fed automatic weapon. It weighs only 150 pounds, complete with shield. The weapon's armor-piercing ammunition will go through 1/2-inch face-hardened armor plate at 200 yards. The gun has a muzzle brake. Assembling the Jap 320mm spigot motor or buzz bomb. The propellant charge screws onto the fin tailpiece. When fully assembled, the mortar weighs approximately 700 pounds. The warhead, in turn, screws onto the propellant charge. The firing tube is lifted onto the base plate and locked. The firing charge is contained in a canister which is placed on top of the firing tube. The firing charge is in various sized silk bags. The number and size of the bags used for propellant determines the distance the shell is to be fired. Troops of the 27th Division Bomb Disposal Unit detonate and destroy a spigot mortar shell found in a field on Okinawa Island. As the fuse had been previously removed from the shell, a grenade is put on the nose and then the lengthy fuse is lit. The shell can devastate an area of 300 yards. Accounts of the mortar in use describe the shell as floating slowly through the air, looking like a flying boxcar. The mortar is very inaccurate. A truck unloads a captured Jap naval 45-centimeter rocket bomb onto a rocket rack. The crude wooden rail launching device and the general inaccuracy of the rocket indicate that it's intended primarily for area bombardment. The rocket body consists of the motor, explosive case, and nose cone, the three sections being welded together. The combustion chamber contains 40 sticks of monoperforated propelling powder. Range of the rocket is estimated at approximately 1,900 yards. A group of 20-centimeter Army rockets, considered to be the most important type of rocket and launcher now used by the Japanese. This rocket and launcher has been designed to provide a lightweight weapon which will fire a heavy projectile as accurately as possible. Tests show an approximate range of 2,600 to 2,800 yards. Aircraft carrier USS Franklin, 60 miles off the coast of Japan. On 19th March, she suffers 2 direct hits from an enemy dive bomber. Crewmen fight desperately to bring the resulting fires under control. Thousands of tons of aviation gasoline are ignited. Aircraft still on the deck are loaded with bombs, rockets, and machine gun ammunition. And many major explosions follow detonation of the Japanese 500-pound armor-piercing projectiles. Flames spread rapidly from the after end of the carrier, and the flight deck is enveloped in smoke. Meanwhile, up forward, the elevator from the hangar deck shows the force of the bomb which struck amid fueled and armed planes waiting to be lifted to the flight deck. Explosions continue. Casualties mount into the hundreds. Sailors were tossed the length of the ship by the severe blasts. Individual acts of heroism are attributed to officers and men of the Franklin, several hundred of whom were trapped below at mess by the bombing. Assistance in organizing firefighters and other acts performed without regard for personal safety are credited to the ship's chaplain, Lieutenant Commander Joseph O'Callaghan. He gives last rites to a badly injured sailor. The cruiser Santa Fe is among several warships which stand alongside the badly listing carrier to give aid. Hoses from the cruiser spray the decks of the Franklin. Personnel cut off by fire on the ship's fantail are rescued by the destroyer Hickok. The line is anchored to a gun on the forward turret of the destroyer. Tongues of flame lick above the trapped sailors, and hoses from the Hickok go into action. A rescue by breeches buoy. As the flames draw dangerously close, many trapped crewmen jump from the gun sponsons onto the bow of the Hickok. The rescue ship is beginning to pull away, and others must dive overboard. A sailor climbs down the net of the Franklin and swims toward a line from the receding destroyer. Listing heavily to starboard, the carrier is still being sprayed as other survivors get away in a life raft. By early afternoon, the fires have been brought under control, and the carrier prepares for a 12,000-mile homeward voyage to New York. With flags still flying, the Franklin sails to Pearl Harbor and then through the canal on her way to New York. 772 of the crew are dead or missing, more than 300 wounded. The Franklin's deck is a twisted and charred mass of ruins as the carrier enters New York Harbor under her own power. Known in the Navy as Big Ben, the Franklin, a 27,000-ton carrier of the Essex class, was commissioned in January 1944. Today, she's under repairs at the Navy Yard in Brooklyn.